5.
Episode 5.
Episode 5.
Go Pats.
Did they play today? I think
I
today
think
was
so.
like an
They
it's like
played.
an exhibition game that happens after the Patriots lose. That was today. No, congrats to the Chiefs.
Whoop whoop.
Cool. I'm glad they won.
Mr. Mahomes.
Yeah.
I was rooting for Jimmy G.
Yeah.
He's gonna come back to the Pats. I know it.
Well,
I know it.
threw like 3 picks today, so maybe he shouldn't come back to the Pats.
Hey. We'll see.
Episode 5.
Episode 5.
Great things. What are we talking about today?
We are gonna share all things Euro trip.
Europe. Where do we begin?
Where do we begin?
It was a cold day in May when we began our voyage across the pond from Utah.
We had planned to do a Europe trip for our honeymoon.
Mm-hmm.
It was like 2 years in the making. I think we started planning our honeymoon before we started planning our wedding.
Yep.
So we were like, we want to do this big Europe trip. And so we waited like a year after to go. And we went for 18 days. Really like 16 because of the travel from Utah. But we just wanted to share kind of what we did. Like maybe some tips that we learned along the way and what we liked, what we didn't necessarily like. And bigger tip is, and this is for anyone that is ever trying to plan a Euro trip and anyone that has, like, I'm not saying this right.
This is a story. It's like a
Yeah.
Wow, good.
Anyone that is planning
Our first trip. Our first tip for a trip.
our first
A
trip
trip tip. Trip tip number 1.
is that if you're planning a Europe trip, everyone is going to try to tell you, who has been to Europe before, where to go, what you have to do. And it is amazing because you want all the things, but our trip tip is to absorb it and listen to it and then pick whatever the hell you want to do because everyone, yeah.
Everyone's got a different opinion. You're not going to be able to do it all. So do what makes you happy. That's probably our biggest tip because we got tons of tips from people. Where to go, what to see, and it was great.
It was great.
We did a little bit of research on each of our places. And we were pretty fluid too with our plans. So when we got to a place where we didn't know what to do, we looked back and we're like, okay, so-and-so told us to do this or this, and it was great. So soak it all in, absorb it, but at the end of the day, make your own plan, do your own thing. I guess that ties into our kind of second trip tip is to know what kind of traveler you are. Like, we're foodies.
We just want to eat and drink.
And drinkies. Is that a thing? No, drunks. Drinkies? No. We like alcohol. We like to, have a good time. So, but we're not history buffs. So
history's cool, and it was cool to
yeah.
see things, but we're not like, oh my gosh, we have to do every single tour, and we need to see this, and we need to like really learn about it.
Like we skipped the Louvre, so that's telling you something. That's how little of history, or paintings, I guess.
And we really didn't do any, like we did some wine tours.
Yeah, we did wine tours. We didn't do any other tour. We did a couple tours. We toured London and stuff like that. And we'll get into all that, but basically know what kind of traveler you are, and then also know what kind of traveler your partner is.
Yeah.
If they want to adventure and you don't, know that going in, so that'll make your trip a little bit easier, and you can compromise as far as what you want to do.
Yeah. I would say too. So he was going to mention that, or he had brought up before that some things require planning and some other things don't. So we'll kind of talk through what we not really got screwed over with, but where it was like, we should have planned this better.
Yeah.
Because we kind of went in with sort of a plan, which was difficult for us because we're planners. We like to have what we're going to do. And we were more laissez-faire with it because we knew other people had recommended just kind of do your thing and don't really have everything booked. And it was great because we have 7 places that we went to, and we really had 9 on the list that we wanted to hit up. So if we had booked hotels and had everything planned out, we wouldn't have made it. Yeah, we wouldn't have made it. We would have been stressed.
So we planned out the first 3 days. So the first 3 days we knew we were going to do Rome and Venice. And plan is a loose term. We knew we were going to go to those places, and we knew we wanted to go explore. And so that's what we did. So we started off in Rome, and we walked the Colosseum and the Pantheon, and some of the other squares that they had there. Went up towards the Vatican, Sistine Chapel. So we kind of walked all of those areas. And the one thing, I guess, the planning factor there was crucial, and that we probably missed out on was we didn't buy tickets in advance of the Colosseum, and we didn't buy tickets in advance for the Sistine Chapel or like schedule a tour, which was fine. Like we walked to them, you're like at the base of the Colosseum, which was fine. It might have been cool to go in, but just seeing the outside is, it's massive. And then the Sistine Chapel, you can get near the Vatican, in the Vatican, but you're not in the Sistine Chapel. So those are probably planning factors. But otherwise, Rome, the dinners,
so cool,
amazing.
Everybody eats so late.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was like 9:30 and everybody was sitting down for dinner.
They don't give you the check.
Nobody gives you the check.
You have to beg for the check.
Not beg. You just have to like act like,
because
they
like
just
3 hours, and you're like, they haven't even brought us a check
well,
yet.
we had that first dinner. We had 2 bottles of wine.
Yeah.
That's how we were there for over 3 hours.
Yeah, for sure.
And it was just.
And they never brought us a check until I finally asked for it.
Because they just are so like, you hang out, you love your life.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yes.
Everybody pretty much spoke English, which I thought was like kind of weird. I guess I thought more people wouldn't, but talking to people, it's kind of like, no, because there are so many Americans that travel here, that's like the second language that they need.
And it's a pretty dumb language, so everybody can pick it up pretty easy.
But I just thought it was kind of, like we talked about how it's kind of rude that we just go there thinking like, everybody better speak English for me. And we don't try to like speak their language. But it was also interesting that was like the common language. So when you have like Greek mixing with French, they'll be like English, and that's like, they'll be like, okay, we can both speak in English and understand one another. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah. So Rome was good. A little bit, there was a lot of tourists there. We were there in May, so it was a little cool. It's just like North America, so like you think of Chicago in May, if it's not quite summer yet, it's still a little cool. So that's how it was for us. A little bit rainy, a little bit cool, but overall it wasn't like super touristy. I would say if the weather had been nicer, that would have been a perfect time to be there because it was fairly quiet.
Yeah.
So Rome was cool, and then we went to Venice, and it was downpour.
Yeah.
But Venice was awesome to explore. Yeah,
it was
cold.
Really cool. Like everything you see about Venice, it is.
Oh yeah, super cool. We went to the Florian.
Oh yeah, that was so cool.
San Marco Square.
Yeah.
So that was cool, even in the rain. Delicious food. We wish if we were gonna go back, we would stay in Venice longer and do more things.
Yeah, probably stay a day, like at least at night, because we just went for like 6 hours.
Yeah, it's too quick. So yeah, Rome. We had just landed, and we kind of knew we were gonna take a little bit of time to like recuperate before jumping into our trip because we went everywhere. So yeah, Rome and then Venice, and that was awesome. And then we flew to Bordeaux, which I think was probably one of our favorite stops on the trip. It was like kind of a little hidden gem of France.
You were like, oh, we could do Bordeaux, and I'm like, what's Bordeaux? And you're like, the wine capital of the world, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, you like wine. Bordeaux was awesome. Almost like a quaint little town feel, but a huge city. Yeah. Our hotel was great.
Oh, the hotel was so good.
Yeah.
We stayed there two nights.
Yeah, we extended. So that was another thing about not planning is we were like, no, we should stay another day.
It's awesome, yeah.
So we did. We went on a wine tour to Saint Emilion, and
you have such a good memory.
I remember things. It was great. So
it was good. I got sick. So on the flight over to Bordeaux, I was like dying. I was like, are you serious? We've planned this for so long and now I get sick. And I was dying. I didn't know what was wrong with me, but my ears were.
But the hotel people were so nice.
They were so nice.
Helped me like go find medicine and
It's just something you don't plan for, right? When you're.
Yeah, you never plan. So we took a train from Bordeaux to Paris. But when we got to Paris, she was like dead. So we went to the ER.
In Paris.
In Paris. Je parle un peu de français. So kind of helped get us to the hospital and figure some stuff out.
Had a sinus infection.
Yep, sinus infection. That was her. So
gave me some meds and I was good to go. But we didn't really do much in Paris.
We went to the Eiffel Tower. We drove past Champs-Élysées, and we went to after.
You missed it.
I did. After you were feeling better, because we did stay that night.
Yep.
And then we went to Paris, Disney.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Which was awesome, because it was kind of a little bit of a rainy day, a little bit of a cool day, and it was like their French holiday. Nobody was there.
Yeah, it was awesome.
The lines were short, because people obviously didn't want to go there that day. So it was great. It was like a Monday. It was like a Monday holiday.
Yeah.
But it was awesome.
They have 2 parks, right?
They have like 2 little parks.
That was really cool.
They were both cool. Yeah. So
again, you have such a good memory.
That was fun. And then so from France, she's still kind of under the weather. We're like, all right, where do we go? Do we fly to, we fly to Spain, or we fly to England, or we fly?
I didn't know.
We ended up taking a train to Amsterdam.
Yeah, that's right.
And then in Amsterdam, we walked the red light district, which was crazy.
Yeah, I don't even. People that have like asked, like, how was that? I literally don't have the words. Like, you just need to experience it for yourself.
Yeah, go see it. Crazy.
It was crazy.
We didn't pay for anything there.
No.
But we did walk the street.
Yeah, but the bikes, you have to really be
bikes
careful.
in Amsterdam are crazy. Yeah, there's an entire bike travel lane.
Yeah,
and
like
it's
a like a big lane.
Yeah, there's like traffic. Yeah, bike traffic for real.
Yeah.
So that was really cool to see.
But the issue with planning there.
Oh yeah, we did get screwed over a little bit with planning there. So we didn't plan to go see the Anne Frank house or the Van Gogh, and those lines.
Well, they were sold out.
You're sold out. You have to book them
months.
like a couple months in advance.
Yeah.
So, but again, we weren't super heartbroken because we weren't like dying to go see those things.
Yeah.
So again, if you are really dying to go do something or see something, plan that out.
But also on the other hand, had we planned and bought tickets, because we planned to do Amsterdam, but not on the days that we went, because we were like, oh, we're gonna fly to Ireland, we're gonna do a day there, and so it wouldn't have lined up.
Yeah.
So it depends.
Everything worked out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. From there we flew to London. From there we flew to London, and that was pretty cool. We did a tour, so that was probably the one place that we did a big bus tour, which we weren't super touristy people, but it was great. We basically did a whole lap on the bus to see all the things and really get to understand. And someone had recommended this to us, like get on the bus, ride a whole loop, see everything, and then on your second loop, you'll figure out what you really want to go see. So that's what we did. And we went to Kensington Palace, and we went to the theater district and Trafalgar Square.
We saw Lion King.
We saw Lion King, and then from there we had the final 4 days planned to end our trip. We flew from London to Santorini, Greece, and
that was the best. That was his idea. He's like, this is just gonna be go, go, go. It's not gonna feel like a relaxed vacation. Let's end it like it's still our honeymoon. Let's end it in a really nice way. And me at first, I was like, no, like let's go. Like I want to use up every day, like 3 days in one place or 4 days in one place. But that was the best, to just go and chill and not. It's exhausting. Like you're living out of your tiny little suitcase. You're getting on planes, trains, and automobiles, and it was just go, go, go. And it's nice to just take a break.
I could live in Santorini, Greece.
Yeah.
It was amazing. It was just like Rome as far as the food stuff went. Like sit down for 3 hours, do whatever you want, but then you're on the side of these cliffs. You have a little endless pool or a little hot tub or whatever. And we splurged for like the last 4 days because it was our honeymoon. And watched the sunset. We took a cruise in the I forget what they call it now, but we took the little cruise through the area at the bottom of that.
Oh, the catamaran.
Yeah, we took the catamaran, but it's called like the Cordova, the Caldova, cauldron.
Oh yeah, something like that. Yeah,
cauldron.
It was really cool. They thought he was a movie star. Our first night there, we get there late again. Everybody's eating dinner so late. Mm-hmm. And the owner comes over and it's just like as if we're family, and just spends time with us. And he's like, "Are you a movie star?" And Nathan's like, "No." He's like, "Are you sure?" And we're like, we're on our honeymoon. And then honestly, it was as if this was like the only honeymoon couple they've ever met in their life.
Yeah, we shut the place down.
Yeah.
They were drinking free wine.
Oh my gosh.
The owner, everybody came out and sat with us. Like,
it was so nice.
Talked with us. I mean, it was great. But Santorini was cool. They had a couple different wineries there that we toured.
Yeah,
we did like
that
the
was
city
really
bus. We took so the sunsets there are crazy. If you have any questions on anything of Santorini, it was great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We flew into Athens first. We were gonna spend some time in Athens.
Yeah.
But as far as like flight times, it didn't really work out.
It didn't work out. So that was the only things that we bought before going over there was our plane ticket to Rome, and then that was it. And then maybe the first night hotel I think I booked ahead of time. And then I booked our flight from Athens to Santorini, the last couple days in Santorini, and then I booked our tickets home. So that was like the extent of our planning going in, everything in between. So Venice, London, everywhere in between. That was all just on a whim. So we could have flown or taken a train anywhere we wanted to go. So.
And we did hotels. I know a lot of people do Airbnbs and hostels, which I think
again, know what kind of traveler you are. If you're cool with that, do that.
For our honeymoon, we were like, we just want to feel really comfortable and not
so that worked
have
out.
to stress about certain things.
But.
And then we ended back where we started in Rome because we flew back out of Rome.
Oh yeah.
And that was I'll never forget.
You loved that, yeah.
We stayed at this hotel that was like out of Rome. It was
so the airport in Rome is not actually in Rome. It's like on the coast.
Yeah.
So it's like a.
And we took a cab or something, and he's telling us about where to eat, and he says that this pizza place right by our hotel is really good. He knew everywhere, and he was funny.
He was funny.
He's been married a few times,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, you're on your honeymoon? Like that's
which one?
Sorry, yeah. But we went to this pizza place, and it was like dead. Not really anybody in there.
Yeah.
And we get.
Luigi was throwing our pizzas.
Literally, it was Luigi, like the cutest old man.
Yeah.
We got a bottle of wine for $7.
Yes, cheap wine. We had a couple of those.
Big
pizzas.
massive pizzas. We had a big salad to start.
Yeah, we were there early.
I think we got 2 bottles of wine.
Yeah,
it was like $30 total.
Yeah,
I was like,
it was
what?
Crazy. Yeah.
And it was so freaking
But we went
good.
early for, Italy. We were there probably 6 or 7.
Yeah.
And then as we were leaving at 9, the place was crazy.
Packed.
Yeah, party.
Oh, that was so cute. Yeah,
the little girl's birthday party. Yeah, so anyway.
Nobody spoke English there. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, that was kind of cool. So, I mean, that's what we did. Again, like.
We don't want to make this video too long. There's so many things we can talk about as far as like, I mean, we
have plans for next time.
Yeah.
Next Euro trip. Spend maybe more than a night in some places.
Yeah, that was hard.
Yeah,
bopping around.
We did a lot of
traveling. But I don't regret what we did because I liked seeing everything.
All the things.
And,
yeah, we saw a lot of things. So.
The food is so good.
So good.
So much better than
clean.
Here.
Yeah, it's super clean and So.
I mean, we ate so much, like bread and cheese and wine and
between the two of us, we only gained 10 pounds and 9.5 of that was me.
Pretty much. It was weird. I was like,
I don't even think it was that. I don't think I gained that.
No,
much.
I don't think you did either. I mean, you do a lot of walking, right? You were walking like crazy.
Yep.
But if you have any questions,
Osprey bags, this backpack, and then the Patagonia bag. Those are kind of lifesavers.
Yeah.
But yeah, any questions? Let us know. Travel Europe. I'm freezing for our